Imagine a booming computer hardware company suddenly faces huge loss. This was 𝐓𝐡𝐞's reality in Latin America. Hello, I'm Bhargavy. I recently completed a Power BI project called Business Insights 360, where I built a dashboard for 𝐓𝐡𝐞 to help them bounce back. Now, you might be wondering what 𝐓𝐡𝐞 is and why it needed to bounce back. Let me walk you through the whole story. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 is a computer hardware company that sells products like mouse, keyboard, PC, etc. These products are further divided into three main divisions. Among them, one is PC, which mainly contains personal laptop, business laptop, gaming laptop. Now the second division is network and storage, which contains Wi-Fi extenders, USB flash drive, and much more. Now the third division is peripherals and accessories. This division contains products like mouse, keyboards, headphones, etc. Now that we understood what products 𝐓𝐡𝐞 deals with, let's understand the business model of 𝐓𝐡𝐞. The transactions of 𝐓𝐡𝐞 mainly includes business-to-business operations. That means 𝐓𝐡𝐞 as a manufacturing unit sells their products to different customers, who themselves are businesses, not humans like you and me. Now these customers sell 𝐓𝐡𝐞's product directly to consumers. Now that we understood the business model of 𝐓𝐡𝐞, let's understand how it generates revenue. The revenue flows to 𝐓𝐡𝐞 from three main channels. One is direct, that means through its own physical store, 𝐓𝐡𝐞 Exclusive, and the other one is 𝐓𝐡𝐞 eStore, their own website where 𝐓𝐡𝐞 sells products. The second channel is distributor. Now, certain countries like China have strict rules regarding their imports and exports. So, distributor like Neptune helps 𝐓𝐡𝐞 follow their rules and makes it easier to sell products legally. Now the third channel is retailers. One of the models of retailers is brick and mortar, where retailers have their own physical store where consumer can experience the product before buying. Now the second model is e-commerce, like Amazon, where consumer orders their product and get it delivered at their doorstep. Now that we have understood the business model of 𝐓𝐡𝐞 and the revenue streams, let's understand the reason behind its losses. Which brings us to the problem statement of this project. As we know, 𝐓𝐡𝐞 has launched its business in Latin America, which failed. The reason behind it is the decision to launch the business in Latin America was mainly dependent on few surveys here and there and their intuition. Instead of depending on data for such big decisions, they followed their intuition. The objective of this project is to onboard data analytics, which will help 𝐓𝐡𝐞 make data-driven decisions from now on. Previously, they have been relying on Excel for analysis. Now that they are expanding and their business is growing, their data is so huge that Excel simply couldn't handle it anymore. I loaded 2 SQL files and 3 Excel files into Power BI and connected databases efficiently using a Snowflake schema. Now, let's explore the dashboard I built for 𝐓𝐡𝐞. This is the homepage of Business Insights 360. It provides quick access to business functions like finance, sales, marketing, supply chain, and executive metrics. On the bottom left, you'll always see the latest report refresh date. I have also added a button that provides additional information about data. If you need any help or want to provide feedback, there's a help button right here. Let's dive into the finance view. Here, I have added 3 crucial KPIs like net sales, gross margin percentage, net profit percentage, which indicates the financial health of the company. The profit and loss statement is also here, with 5 key columns measuring performance across various business aspects like gross sales, gross margin, net profit percentage, etc. The chart here tracks net sales performance over time, but as you select different items in the profit and loss statement, the chart dynamically adjusts itself and reflects the selected metrics trends. This table shows top or bottom products and customers by the selected line item. It also allows you to see the performance based on the primary and secondary parameters I have added to make filtering quick and easy. You can filter results with the benchmarks I have given by fiscal year, by quarters, by year to date, year to go. Here are the abbreviations that I used in the dashboard. Next, let's move on to the sales view. This view gives insight into how AtliQ is performing in the market, focusing on net sales and gross margin. The scatter chart here tracks net sales performance over time and filters the customers that are not meeting the gross margin percentage target depending on the gross margin percentage variance that you selected with the slider. The table here gives us the flexibility to switch between customer or product performance with key metrics like net sales, gross margin percentage, change in gross margin percentage. The green bar here represents that we are doing better than last year, and the red one means we are lagging behind. I have also added a tooltip that shows trends of net sales and gross margin percentage. Here's a pie chart which combines gross sales, pre and post invoice deductions, total cost of goods sold, and gross margin. In the marketing view, we use a scatter chart to analyze the performance of different segments based on either net profit percentage or gross margin percentage. We also have a waterfall chart that breaks down gross margin, operational expenses, and net profit. This helps AtliQ to understand how marketing activities affect the bottom line. Here is a pie chart that shows the distribution of gross margin and total cost of goods sold, helping AtliQ see how much money is spent and how much have we earned. The table in this view offers two perspectives. One is product and the other is market. I have added a toggle button to switch between the views. Now let's take a closer look at the supply chain view. Here I have added key metrics like forecast accuracy, net error, and absolute error. These help AtliQ track how accurate their supply chain predictions are and identify areas where they might need to improve. This chart shows trends in forecast accuracy and net error over time. There are also two tables that break down performance by customer and product. Finally, we reach the executive view, which is designed for AtliQ's leadership team. This is where decision makers can get a quick overview of the company's performance. Here are the 4 key cards that display essential metrics. The bar chart here shows the revenue contributions by division and channel. As you can see, around 69% of the revenue is contributed by retailers. This chart highlights trends in key financial metrics like gross margin percentage, net profit percentage, and also shows the AtliQ's market share. This ribbon chart shows the AtliQ's share in the market for PC division specifically throughout the years. 2018, 2019, 2020, we were barely existed in the market, but it is estimated to have 5.9% of market share in 2022. This table shows the top 5 customers contributing to revenue, and the other one highlights the top 5 products and their revenue contributions. The third table over here gives insights by sub-region, helping AtliQ's executives understand how the business is performing in different areas. Now let's dive into the key insights that I have identified through analysis and some practical recommendations to improve business and derive profitability. The first insight is focused on revenue contributions across 3 divisions from Latin America. As you can see, Network and Storage division has experienced a consistent decline from 29.4% in 2019 to 2.5% in 2022. And Peripherals and Accessories division shows a steady performance, peaking at 51.9% in 2021. It is estimated to decline to 35.6% in 2022. Whereas PC division has experienced so much growth. From 25.3% in 2019, it is expected to grow to 61.9% in 2022. Based on this insight, here are few recommendations from my side. I suggest AtliQ to conduct a cost-benefit analysis for the Network and Storage division. As this division is losing sales rapidly, it is important to analyze the costs and benefits to decide whether to improve the product, change the marketing strategy, or stop selling these products altogether if they are no longer profitable. The second recommendation is to focus on Peripherals and Accessories division and mainly PC division, because these divisions are performing well, especially the PC division, which is growing fast. To keep this momentum, the focus should be on developing better products, improve marketing strategies to maintain and increase sales. The second insight is focused on net profit, which means the amount that is remained after deducting all expenses from sales. As you can see, even though AtliQ has launched its business in Chile in 2020, the Corona period, Chile has managed to stay profitable throughout these years. And Mexico has managed to do the same, but with fluctuating profits. When it comes to Brazil, since Corona, the situation is getting worse and worse. Colombia is also losing money. Based on this insight, here are a few recommendations. I suggest AtliQ to analyze the strategies that are used by Chile and Mexico and implement those strategies in struggling areas. Understand what worked in Chile and Mexico to help countries like Brazil and Colombia. Now, the second recommendation is to focus on Chile and Mexico. Since profits are expected to drop in these areas, it's the time to take action by cutting unnecessary expenses or improving sales or finding better markets to keep these profits stable. Before diving into the third insight, let's take a look at the situations that a business faces, that is out of stock and excess inventory, and the impact that it has on sales and costs. I'll explain these concepts by using an example. Let's say that you have estimated to sell 100 units this year, but by the end of the year, you got to know that the demand was for 120 units. You are only able to meet the sales for 100 units. That means you have underestimated your sales demand, right? So this 20 unit situation here is called out of stock. If you had those extra 20 units in your godown, you would be able to make sales from that and earn income from that. This situation is called out of stock. Now the second situation here is, let's say you have again estimated to sell 100 units this year, but by the end of this year, you got to know that only 70 units were sold. That means you have overestimated your sales this time. The excess 30 units that are left in your godown are called excess inventory. These out of stock and excess inventory situations impact sales and costs a big time. I'll explain how. The first downside of out of stock situation is loss of sales. If you had 20 units at that time, you would have made profit on them, right? But you didn't, so you lost sales. Now the second thing is customer dissatisfaction. Let's say one customer had decided to buy a product from your company and it has faced the out of stock situation. It will be imprinted in his or her mind that, okay, this company doesn't keep stock, so the next time they'll prefer another company, right? The third one is operational costs. Let's just say that these 20 units were demanded immediately. Now, there are only two options that you have. One is stating that you don't have any stock, and the other is paying extra money to supplier for quick delivery so that you can deliver it to the customer. This will increase our cost, which will reduce our profit, right? Now, let's take a look at the downside of having excess inventory. Tied up cash, which means you have used major amount in buying those products which don't have any demand right now. Now your money is locked up in those items. In case of any emergency, you will be in an out of cash situation. The next thing is storage costs. All products in the godown requires some storage expenses. The next thing is discount pressure. Because your products are not getting sold, you will be pressured to give away those products at a discounted price, which will reduce our profits. Let's take a look at the third insight. The third insight is focused on supply chain of accessories division specifically. As you can see, Brazil was facing out of stock situations in 2019 and 2020. It has improved and now it is actually having excess inventory in huge amount, which needs to be taken care of. Coming to Mexico, it has been facing out of stock situations for so long, but it is estimated to improve in 2022. Coming to Chile, even though it has started its operations in 2020, it is continuously facing out of stock situations. That means the goods are being sold rapidly. It needs to restock more products to avoid these situations as the demand is so high in Chile. Colombia's excess inventory situation is continuously increasing. That means the products that AtliQ have in Colombia are slow moving items. Based on this insight, here are a few recommendations from my side. I recommend AtliQ to monitor high demand products in case of out of stock items. Find out which items run out quickly and keep extra stock available to avoid shortages. Now the second one, for excess inventory items, I recommend AtliQ to identify the slow moving inventory. Analyze which items are not selling well and reduce future orders to avoid overstocking. The Business Insights 360 project highlights critical areas for improvement. So I hope AtliQ will now make data-driven decisions and continue to grow efficiently. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hear your thoughts on this.